Hi, I'm Daniel Taselli, and I work as a climate change planner with Ecology North in Yellowknife, Northwest Territories, Canada. I'm a Kashuagotine Dene from Port Good Hope, Northwest Territories. I was born and raised here in the Northwest Territories, and I was always taught to respect the land and to utilize traditional survival skills and other hunting practices that our people have used for thousands of years. Here in the North, we see the effects of climate change every day, and I hear about them quite a bit through my work. I work with people in communities north of Yellowknife to plan for the effects of climate change, and part of my job involves consulting community members on climate change and how it's affected their lives. One elder told me that when he was young, they would hunt caribou, and there were so many caribou they could hear them coming for days, and when they would finally see the herd, there would be thousands and thousands of animals, so many that it almost looked like the land itself was moving. You don't see caribou in such great numbers these days. And it's not just caribou. People are saying there are less of all types of animals. Less ducks, less rabbits, less birds, less songbirds on the land. They're even saying there are less bugs these days. And it's not just numbers that are being affected. Large animals like caribou, their migration routes are changing. People don't see them where they used to back in the old days. And the health of these animals is also being affected. When people butcher caribou and other animals like fish, they're noticing changes over the years in the health of these animals and the amounts of fat on the animals. People are seeing changes in plants like berries. They're saying the berries these days are dried out, not as healthy. And obviously we're getting changes in weather and climate. Winters now are much warmer than they used to be. We're seeing changes in precipitation patterns, snow depth. Even water levels are changing. Some people have told me that rivers they used to hunt on when they were a kid are now so dried up that they can't even go up the river in a small boat. Climate change will affect all facets of our lives. It's an environmental problem, but it's also an economic problem, a health problem for humans and other animals, and it's an issue of social justice for millions of people around the world. In Canada's north, for First Nations people here in Canada's north, the effects are going to be very drastic. Our spirituality and our culture is intimately tied to the land that we've lived on for thousands of years. And as that land changes and the animals change, it's affecting our culture and our cultural practices. And perhaps more important than that, it's affecting our ability to live self-sufficiently on land that we've lived on for thousands of years. We need to take strong action on climate change, and I call on the world's leaders to take strong action and reach international agreements on greenhouse gas reductions, and also to help vulnerable populations around the world, including developing countries, in adapting to the negative effects of climate change.